And I haven't been in a few nights, and same people here. I thought we'd have a big crowd roll in tonight for my first coming back in about 3 weeks, 3 months or so. But it is good to see each one of you here, and we thank you for coming. And if you would stand, please, and let's have a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's take a minute to talk with the Lord, and then we'll get on with the business at hand. Father, as we come tonight and stop for just a few minutes, we want to offer praise and glory to you for all things. We believe, Lord, that all things come from you that make us what we are. And Lord, we hope that we will be doing what would be pleasing unto you in this community and in other areas that we may serve. We ask that you forgive us of our sins and always watch over us. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. We'll have our treasurer's report at this time. We'll build up a lot of money too.
Probably got a lot of money.
Yeah.
We're holding steady at $350.
We're not spending anything.
That was the last time I was here.
That's right, we ain't spending.
I'm holding steady.
We're going to do something to make some money. Have a raffle or something of it. Anyway, it's right where it was at, so we thank you for the ones who do leave a little every now and again. Minutes of a reading of our last meeting.
We've, they're going over to rescheduling for a new schedule for a cleanup. Went over the last minutes for DOT, vandalism, the buildings that are going around, houses and things, King Road. We also talked about the toy drive, which is going through November the 1st to December the 2nd. Andrea can talk more on that, she's with that. We went over the trunk or treat and the Christmas in Rockfish.
There was a big crowd on the trunk or treat, wasn't
Yes, sir, we did really,
That was huge.
very nice.
I don't know where all those children came from.
Come out of the woodwork.
Lord have mercy. All candy and the haunted house.
We wait till Christmas night, Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Santa Claus is gonna have to get some rest.
Well, I do see that we have one special guest here tonight, but I'll let him be introduced a little later, and he can give us a few words of wisdom maybe before he leaves.
And we got another one over there.
Keep us in order, and this young lady here as well. And with that being said, Larry, I guess you kind of take over from here and go ahead with the stuff.
Well, basically, it's gonna be short, sweet, and simple. Beautification, we're still picking up paper, and we still got people that love to throw paper in Rockfish. It's some better than it was. Coombs Road is a little better. I noticed that they're starting to throw the big bags of trash now on the side of the road, and I've gone and took some big trash bags in the yard rake and raked it up and took it to the dumpster. So, trying to keep our community clean as possible. We got our Christmas tree that we're gonna decorate on Saturday, December the 4th at 10 o'clock. We're gonna light it on the following Monday at 6 o'clock. Brownie put a tree out there about 4 years ago, and that's what we're gonna put. We did initially put solar lights on the one that we had, but we had some people in the community or somebody stole our lights. But I'd be careful if I was somebody, because somebody might be watching. There might be a camera around the Christmas tree to watch Santa Claus too. But don't forget that, we're gonna decorate the tree, put the lights and stuff on it, and then we're gonna have a lighting of the tree on that Monday night at 6 o'clock. Okay?
What day is that, Larry?
Monday.
Monday, we're gonna light the tree,
This coming Monday.
December the 6th.
Oh, that's what.
And then as far as the DOT projects go, everybody's aware of all the stoplights are in place, with the exception of they're still trying to determine what they're gonna do at the end of Lindsay and Rockfish. They have not ruled out anything. Maybe we'll be able to clarify some things next meeting. That's what I understand. So we're hoping that they're gonna at least put a flashing red light there that will have people to stop, because people coming from Davis's Bridge and come across the railroad tracks, and they don't turn no signal on, there's nothing says that they have to. But there still needs to be something there, and the state is aware of all that. They have not ruled that out as of yet. As far as vandalism, we had a problem with people breaking in cars and stealing Cadillac converters. And thankful to our modern technology and our sheriff's department, they apprehended the individual this past Tuesday night. And thank the Lord for the sheriff's department and modern technology. So, it's still going on, but anybody that's out at Facebook, in Facebook listing, lock your cars. If somebody steals your car and you call the sheriff's department, the first thing they're gonna say, was your car locked? What you gonna tell them? No, the keys were in the ignition. Lock your car. So, we need to be more precautious. I'm guilty of that. Mighty guilty. So, that's under control. Is any of the board members got anything they'd like to add to what we want to do?
I'd like to say that if anyone wants to give a donation, we have a can, or either you can come to either one of us and donate.
I will say this, we have a couple of families that the Rockfish Volunteer Board are going to help for Thanksgiving. And we've already got one of them took care of. And if you'd like to give something to help offset the cost, we appreciate it. I mean, we don't ask nobody for nothing. We just try to do good, positive things for the community. We started this, 6 years ago, E.T.? We've come a long way. And we're gonna go a lot further in the future. So we got some good things coming.
So what all are y'all collecting for Thanksgiving? Do you need
Well,
canned
we've
food
already got a
or-
turkey that's been donated by Brock Realty.
Okay.
And we're gonna help one family. We have got another turkey I think is gonna be donated to help a family. And then if we want to give anything extra, we're gonna give it to this young lady to help her cause with what they've got going on. Now, aren't y'all helping the veterans?
No, right now we're doing, the Hope County Children's Collaborative is collecting, toys. We have 2 families identified from each of the elementary schools in Hope County, that are in need of toys, jackets, hats, scarves. Some of them are even asking for blankets, so we are collecting.
Do we have a box here?
Yes,
Okay,
there's a
good.
box here.
So everybody
there's a box-
remember that.
Box at Brock Realty, there's a box at Healing Hearts, there's one at Reimagine. Those are the Rockfish locations, but there's about 12 to 15 locations throughout the county. And
Just remember that, because
on the
there's a lot of
Facebook
unfortunate people. A
Yeah.
lot of people are not fortunate. And, you know, it's a tough time. We're in perilous time.
And what do you need us in by what date?
So we're collecting the boxes on December 10th, and we're meeting at Healing Hearts on December 13th to
Let's see what we can come up
disseminate
together as a
everything
community
between
to
the-
try to help this worthwhile cause. I know they've got different things going on throughout the community that is trying to help unfortunate people. And like I say, it's a blessing to be able to help somebody. Because some folks just don't have it, and it's good that we can come and do it. Yes, sir.
We had a question from Facebook. What are the ages of the babies?
What are?
I can post that. I just know the ones that I'm, like the 2 schools that I'm responsible for, and they range from, 7 to 13. So we're taking care of the whole family. The family's identified at the elementary school, but they may have, older children, in the family that are not at the elementary school.
Okay, we have an individual that says, In Your Faith Ministries evangelist Carlton and Wanda Barber will donate toys. We'll reach out to that individual.
Okay, great.
And also, if I might add something too, we've got some senior citizens in our area, and they don't have a lot of family, so it would be nice, even a Christmas card, if we could think about those too.
You can never outgive helping somebody. Because that could be us.
One thing I'd say, Larry, backing up to our sheriff's department, see, we all got so used to leaving our houses unlocked, our cars unlocked, keys in them and everything else, and then all of a sudden, people got to moving in, and And the sheriff's department had to get busy. Now we got to lock our stuff up. I don't know.
And got to peep out the window.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've got our point across. But first, before I introduce, well, both of you are special guests. But Ms. Gill, thank you for coming. Board of Education, let's give her a hand.
All right.
Now, I shared with her right then when she started to come in. In 6 years, we've had 3 members from the Board of Education, and I challenge every one of them that's listed on Facebook to come to Rockfish. Because we've got a need out here. And in time, we'll share that need with you.
Yes, sir.
But we thank you so much for coming. Appreciate what you're doing
Yes, sir.
for Hope County. She was here on her election drive, and we appreciate that. Well, this next gentleman, I've known him for 2 weeks. I went to his office a couple of weeks ago, and I sat in his office as a Hope County citizen and talked to him. I never heard tell of him. But the only way you're gonna learn somebody is go talk to them and look at them. I know a lot of people that know him. My wife is here and she knows him. And I know a lot of people that, my friends that work in Cumberland County that know him, because he did work at Cumberland County, in Cumberland County. It might not be what we want, or we all might not agree on things. But we don't need to hold back and not support and give a chance. Our former sheriff left us too soon. He brought Hope County Sheriff's Department from the bottom to the top. He loved people. He was a people person. And in talking with this young man for 1 hour, he loves people. I think he's going to be one that the Hope County citizens can look to in time. You've got to build your trust, and that will come. I think he'll be one you can look to that's going to continue to do the things that the groundwork was laid by the late Sheriff Dr. Hubert A. Peters. What a good job he done in 19 years. He supported Rockfish. Through the work of Mr. Brock and Janice, we were able to put a satellite sheriff's department at the fire department. And I'll get the sheriff to tell you about the good news that's going to come from that. So without any further ado, our sheriff, Sheriff Roderick Virgil. Make him welcome.
I'm gonna stand like right
Go
here.
ahead.
Is it okay if I stand right here? Because I want to be able to kind of like look at everybody if there's any questions. I don't want to stand in front of you because if I'm talking, you have questions, I want to be turning back and forth. So I want to be positioned this way. First of all, I would like to thank you guys for having me out this evening. Before we go any further, I would like to give a moment of silence to the late Sheriff Hubert A. Peters. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Can we do that? Okay, let's do that. Amen. So, my name is Roderick Virgil. I was born and raised in Hope County. How many of you ever heard of Virgil's Drive-In before? If you're from Rayford, you've heard of Virgil's Drive-In. So, yeah, so that's my grandfather's restaurant. It's our restaurant now, because he's long gone, bless his soul. I hope he don't haunt me tonight for saying that. But anyway, yeah, I love people. I love to have fun. I've been on the rescue squad, Hillcrest Fire Department. I've even ran calls here at Rockfish with Mr. Todd Wood, Chad Autry. I've been around the block a long time to be so young, or I may say I've been so involved at such a young age, and I'm still involved now. I've served in every capacity. Sheriff deputy, been a reserve for 12, 13 years on the warrant team, serving search warrants. Flight paramedic, I'm still part-time doing that because it's kind of hard for me to completely cut it loose, but with time, you know, things will fade out, and so you know what, I don't have time to do that. But Catesville Valley was, the CEO was fortunate enough to say, hey, look, you know, I'm gonna grant you a part-time status or whatever. We still love to have you in the air. And I said, I would still love to be in the air from time to time. Because I have so many pictures of the great Rockfish community and the Sandy Grove Elementary School or whatever. But, so yeah, so Hope County Sheriff's Office, flight paramedic with Catesville Valley. I worked at UNC Chapel Hill for several years. Hillcrest Fire Service, I came and helped out up here at Rockfish. Hope County Rescue Squad. As you can tell, I was an adrenaline junkie, right? You know, because it's one of those things that caught my eye at an early age. At the turkey parade, lights and sirens just captivated my attention. I was like, you know what, I like that. I like that energy and that rush that I felt, so I went after it. But, you know, on the end of the spectrum, I was helping people and didn't really, that wasn't my focus initially because I was young. I wasn't thinking about helping people. I was just thinking about red lights and sirens and just running people off the road, right? I loved it. Never hurt anybody, but loved it. But now, you know, when you start to slow down in life or whatever, and you look back and you say, hey, I'm making a difference in people's lives for the most part. Even when you're making an arrest, there's still a positive outcome to that because that person has an opportunity to change their life and see, hey, look, what I did was wrong. And so now I have opportunity to change my life. So being involved in the community services and volunteering for years and years, Sheriff Peterkin, me and him, man, we knew each other ever since I was really small. He used to drive the dairy car over at Fayetteville City. And being in the same neighborhood where he lived at, I had an aunt that lived in the same neighborhood. So when he would come home, he would drive past my aunt's house and I would run up to him and we called him Spanky. And so I would run up to his car because it had dairy on the side of it. And I was like, sir, can you cut on your lights for me? So from my childhood up until now, we became like really, really close friends. We would communicate on a weekly basis. And, you know, he would tell me and give me advice. Hey, listen, this is what you need to do, whatever, whatever. And I want to say maybe 2 or 3 months, if you monitor the Sheriff's Office Facebook page, I want to say it was about 3 months ago before he passed, he cropped my pictures out and did like a little small pic collage. He had my flight paramedic, me and my flight, you see it, you seen it? My flight paramedic uniform and like different personalities. And me, I don't care about being out there, I just don't. I don't care about that. I'm more laid back or whatever. Because the more you put yourself out there, the more liable you are for stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey man, he said, look at Facebook, and I was like, why'd you do that? You know I don't care about being on Facebook. He was like, no, you need to. Wow, you have like 1,150 likes within 10 to 15 minutes. Man, you must be someone. And I have all these messages in my phone, and I was like, thanks, but no thanks. He was like, no, seriously. He was like, one day you're gonna be somebody. And I was like, you know what? Thanks, man. Thanks. Because, you know, not often you get that from people, you know, especially somebody like him, like the sheriff of the county, to tell you, hey, look, man, you're gonna be somebody one day. So he told me that. Fast forward a week before he passed, just out of the blue, I was sitting at home and I texted him and I said, hey, look, you know, I really appreciate everything you've done for me. You've been a positive influence in my life, and if anything I can ever do for you, you know, please let me know. I'll be more than welcome. He said, be that great leader one day. And all these messages are in my phone. And when I got that phone call that night, it was just like everybody else. It was just in like shock. And so I began to receive phone calls, and I'm sorry if I'm talking too much, but this is just what I want to share what's in my heart, because I'm going somewhere with this, what I'm sharing with you. So I started receiving phone calls. You know, everybody's in your ear. Hey, you should run for sheriff. That's the last thing I'm thinking about. Is like my mentor just passed away, my friend. I'm not thinking about running, campaigning for anything, you know. But so maybe 3 or 4 days afterwards, a peace came over me, and it was almost like he was just speaking to my mind, like the leader. And so what was coming to my mind was what he said in those words, to go back in my phone and read that. I've never desired in my life, and I know a lot of people around here in Rayford, I've never desired, not one time in my life, to become a sheriff. Never. I didn't want to deal with anything considered the community. I just didn't, because I was like, I got a simple life. I like it that way. But you know what? A lot of times it's not really up to you what you want to do, because the good Lord made all of us.
Amen.
And he's put things in us that we don't even see ourselves, that it takes other people to come up to you and say, hey, what you don't think you can do, that's what I need you to do. Because I need the spirit and the things that I've imparted into you to spread the love amongst people. That's what I need. So don't look at it as if what you want to do is what I need. There's a need for what you have and what you possess for the community, for the people. So it brings me to being your appointed sheriff, and I am running, and I appreciate your votes. However, I know there's been a lot of riffraff on Facebook, and I don't get caught into that at all. Because at the end of the day, you know, I'm going to love people. I'm going to treat people right. I don't see color, because we're all human. I mean, I've been in the medical field for 18 years, and every time I've seen someone with a traumatic injury, guess what? Your blood is red, yours is red, yours is red, and everybody's somebody. So my track record speaks for itself. I'm not up here trying to convince anybody of anything at all. I've had people say, man, we've dug up on you, we can't find anything. I was like, keep digging, you'll find something. It'll be the same thing, you know? So having said all that, I'm excited about what's going on and what's happening. I've been in the office for less than a week, and we've had some positive changes. And one of those positive changes, and I can say this because it's the Rockfish community, don't go out and tell anybody else, 'cause we're gonna share with them too, but just specifically. So we've created an additional road deputy that's a watch commander. And all this, what I'm telling you, will be out on social media and the newspaper. So what a watch commander does, he's a seasoned officer that floats around the county and oversees, because we have a fairly young agency. I'm pretty sure if you've seen the deputies, you know, right around throughout the community, we have a fairly young agency. And you know, where you have youth, you have some level of immaturity, right? So some people have to be monitored. Just because you have a gun and a badge, don't mean that you're the wisest person here on earth, right? You're still a human being, you make mistakes. So what we have to do is we have to critique, we have to do an assessment. Hey, listen, I have 50, 60, 75% youth, so we need to bring some seasoned deputies in or whatever, so we can help mature and make sure that these guys are out here making the right decisions or whatever. So I've created 2 watch commander positions, and one of those watch commander positions are going to be located Rockfish.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
And not because I really like Larry, you know, because I really like Larry, but it's not why I'm really doing it. I'm doing it because the population here on this side of the county it's ridiculous. I mean, we really need about 8 to 9 patrol cars on the road. But we gotta work with what we have to work with, you know, without digging in your pockets with tax money or whatever. So my job was to look at the budget, see what we can manipulate, because I love operations. I like sitting down looking at, I love a challenge. Okay, give me this and I'm gonna make 10. Give me 10 and I'll make 20, you know, and be effective, you know, in making those changes. So the watch commander would be at the substation here periodically, and I'm not saying that he's gonna be there 7 days a week, because he's gotta answer calls too once they get backed up. But for the most part, he'll generally be based out of here, going over paperwork, if there are any local complaints or whatever. If you see the car there, walk in, do your report, saves you a trip from going downtown Rayford or what have you. We also, we're looking at the community watch programs in different areas, different neighborhoods. We're gonna start that back up. But we know what I asked of you, since I'm speaking with you guys, is, and I see that you're pretty active and involved in the community, that help us and we'll help you. Because what I see, and I have other friends that are in law enforcement, is, you know, what are we gonna do about this? What are we gonna do about that? Sweetheart, we only have 6 or 7 deputies on the road. You have over 10,000 people, and that's a low number. So we can't, we need your help, we need your participation. So if we come and we start a program, you have more eyes in your community than you do deputies that are patrolling. So if we can get the community involvement to stay active and communicate through apps or what have you, then that'll help a lot. Just like the catalytic converters, those BNEs and Larsons of catalytic converters, modern day technology, whatever, it helped out a lot. So, so that's what we're bringing here to you guys. Also, we're looking at purchasing 2 additional K9s. So we'll have, for tracking purposes or whatever, for your B&Es, murder suspects, or all your drunken runs or whatever. Because you gotta realize that, when you're at night, when someone jumps and runs out of a car and they flee into like the wooded area, it's hard to see. But with the K9, they make it a whole lot easier and the liability is a little bit less. Reason being is because if I get a dog, a lot of people are very intimidated, especially by your Belgian Malinois and your normal K9s that they use for tracking. The loud bark and the growling or whatever, they'll surrender. Versus going in the woods with a light on my gun and somebody jumps out and then somebody gets shot. So we're looking at more community policing. That's what I'm trying to push. More community policing, being involved in the community, building a rapport with people. Because if people don't know you, they don't know your intentions. And your intentions may be not to be a violent person, but the way you come off may cause somebody to get hurt. So that's the culture that we're trying to build within the sheriff's office. And I know a lot of people, I get it, you have some big shoes to fill. And I was like, you know what, if I can fill just one of his shoes, that'll be fine, because I have my own that I have to start from here. I can't live Sheriff Peterkin's legacy. The only thing I can do is pick up where he left off and continue to drive forward. Because that's the way, and that's the direction that the sheriff's office was moving. He was driving forward. And we're gonna continue to drive forward. That's what we're gonna do. So do you have any questions for me? Because I will sit here and talk to you to 12 o'clock at night. We will laugh, we will cry, and we will be bored. But do you have any questions for me? And if I don't have an answer, I'll get back with you. I don't know when, but I will. Okay.
I don't have a question, but thank you. Larry and I were in Memphis a week or so ago, and the camera went off about 6 o'clock one morning. I thought, geez, Janice is going off over there awful early to see about the boys. It was one of your officers checking on our house. So just thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
ma'am.
that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Sheriff, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Dave Front, and I live the western part of the county, but I come over here every now and then just
Okay.
to see what's going on.
All right.
You said there currently have, and I know this is real early, so if I put you on the
That's fine.
spot.
No.
Okay. You said you have 6 or 7 cars out on patrol at any one time?
So we will have 6 to 7 patrol cars. Right now, we're slotted for 5 right now with the budget. You have, on average, 4 cars for the most part, 24/7 on average. But during the day, you have anywhere from 5 road deputies to maybe 2 detectives in the front office. So you can have anywhere from like 10 uniform officers that are available to respond if needed. But on average, right now, you have anywhere from 4 to 5. With the watch commander that I'm implementing, that'll make 6, and we're gonna split our K9 units, which will make 7. So you'll have 5 road patrol 24/7, and you'll have 2 splitters to include the watch commander, and they'll split shifts. So 7 days a week, you'll have 7 road patrol, about 75% each day, you'll have 7, and the rest it'll just be 5.
We're projected to have, you've seen all the rooftops going.
Oh, absolutely.
We're projected to have several hundred new houses yet this year. Well, not this year, but within.
I got you,
the
yeah.
year. And, how do you project that? How do you move along, get more deputies, to cover that?
So basically, we look at call volume, right? And of course, we have to calculate population into that also. We normally get with the GIS, the 911 communication center, because we have to look at the type calls that are coming out and where they're coming out at. So it's a lot of collective data that we use to determine, who we need to put where and how many, we use a lot of collective data to determine what resources we need and how many resources we need to put where. that help.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I just see so many houses going up and some, you know, I mean, each house brings at a minimum of 2 people on average.
Right.
Probably more like 3.5. You know, that just says to me that we need a lot more police coverage.
Absolutely, I agree.
Good luck getting it.
Yeah.
Good luck to you too.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Got a question? You look like you have a question. You sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
All right. I'm ready for you, because I'll say I don't know in a minute. Anybody? Good? Okay, so, at this time, Mr. Laird, if you could stand before everyone, I would like to make a small presentation. I was starving today because I took my last paycheck to get this for you or whatever, so I'm already small, so I'll lose about 20 pounds tomorrow. So on behalf of the Hope County Sheriff's Office, Mr. Larry Chase, and I'd like to present to you this nice shiny star as an honorary member of the Hope County Sheriff's Office. And also this certificate that states that he's an honorary member of the Hope County Sheriff's Office. So you can hang this on your wall. So when you go home, and that's in your back pocket, just look on the wall and you'll see that.
Thank you so much.
That'll tell you stop speeding. Don't take any bubble gum out of the store.
And wear my seatbelt.
And wear your seatbelt.
And it gives you an extra patrol car.
So you're not gonna give him a gun,
Well, I got one of those.
So, if there's nothing else for me, I appreciate your support. I know it's been floating around. I'm just real. I just keep it real. I just keep it I'm just very totally honest and real. What you see is what you get. You'll get that, and anybody that knows me will tell you, I'm just a person. You know, I'm a person that God has opened the door for to put in a position so I can help my community. Born and raised here, I love people. I care about everybody. If anything I can do, don't hesitate. Come down to the office and we'll work it out. Somehow or another, I can't give you a time frame, but as long as we're making progress and we're working towards our common goal, it'll get fixed. It will. So I appreciate you having me. And like I said, whatever you need, come see me. I don't have any cards to give out. I'll eventually get those.
Volunteer board members got anything for the sheriff?
We'd like to welcome you.
Welcome you.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, you know, we want to welcome you to Rockfish tonight, but on behalf of the Rockfish community, Christy, where you at? Here is a cake that says, "Welcome to Rockfish, Sheriff Virgil," with the Hope County emblem right here. Sheriff, come and put your hand on this. And we want to get all the volunteer board around us, if y'all will come on up. Brian, if you let all the folks come up. And we want to make sure we got everybody's picture in here. Let E.T. come around, stand right here with the camera. We'll wait on Mr. Brock. He's coming.
I'm coming.
He'll be here.
You're the shortest one.
Maybe right here, Mr. Brock.
Come on up here, Mr. Brock, right here.
Get right side of the sheriff,
Yes,
because he may
sir.
lock me up tomorrow.
No, Mr.
But
Brock.
on behalf
Mr.
of
Brock,
our
you my buddy.
community, we thank you and we welcome you to Rockfish.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let's give our sheriff a hand. So you want to take that back there, and everybody can take us some cake, and I'll get Mr. Brock to dismiss us.
You mean to tell me you're not gonna smash it in my face? I thought we come here to have some fun.
I don't, no, she's not gonna speak tonight. She's gonna come back.
Okay.
She's going back to her board and talk.
Well, with that being said, folks, you mentioned you, Sheriff, if you hadn't already. Speak to him before he leaves tonight, and have some cake as well. Meeting adjourned.